But who knows? This Fortnite, you never know what you're gonna get when you drop into a map.
I mean, I'm hoping for it. I'm hoping for a little bit of a switch up. Maybe some of these newcomers rising to the occasion. We've got a huge switch up of the bus path, which is going to allow us to see Dubs and Accept already going at it. Pam's going to go down. Vats trying to be the hero and go straight up, and Dubs takes him straight right back on out. 2v1. And Yamso goes down again. It's all up to Rise. And they fall. 2 straight games right out of the gate. Yamso and Rise are going to be looking to really change things around.
I don't know how that's happened. Rise and Yamso go from winning the first game to just absolutely losing everything, it seems, in these first 2 games. I can't believe it. That is heartbreaking for Yamso and Rise.
I've seen them come back before. It may have been in game number 6, game number 5, and it may have been an Elite Cup, but I've seen them come back from bigger. As Kanata and Agers, 138 points, trying to have a little bit of a shake-up themselves. Hold on, play a little bit here. As Acorn and Cold, we talked about them, we called them out, and it looks like they're going to stick to the game plan. They said, we didn't practice all this time for nothing.
Yeah, the pressure is on. They have to come up big, but it's not looking easy at all. You've got to wonder what it is that's going wrong for them, and whether or not they'll be able to recover mentally, because this is not easy by any means. And you have sort of a bad start to a day like this. And I mean, props to Coop and Hide and Seek, because as much as everybody will sit there and go, oh my goodness, how come Acorn and Cold aren't doing as well as we thought? You've got to big these guys up, because they have made this upset happen. And it looks like they're going to continue to do so as well. Got to be careful though, I don't want to give Acorn a 1v1 situation, because he does win those, but nevertheless, another game in their favor. Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's almost like all or nothing in the next couple of games coming out from them. Their playstyle now has been dictated by the situation that they're in. They have to start picking up eliminations from here on out. As Pyla and NPen, they're no strangers to eliminations. Pyla already has one, trying to take the piece control, but goes around instead, takes down Fred. Huge siphon and refresh. He sees NPen in a fight. He gets taken down. Gutterleaf versus Bylaw here.
This is not good. A 1v1 situation now here at the Breakwater Bay. I'll be honest with you, Jacob. As somebody who has loved my time playing this season, is Breakwater Bay a POI I think is worth 3 teams fighting for? I will be very honest. I do not think so.
I'm glad you think so. Same thing. Because I was thinking no, but I trust your judgment.
It's one of those situations that, look, Breakwater Bay, it's not got the best metal, it's not got the most materials of any POI by any means. It's not got the most actual loot of any of the POIs. Again, like you said, it's one of those sort of outskirt POIs. Look, I don't get it, but clearly the players feel like it's something worth fighting for. And I think when you look at their positions in the standings, they don't reflect well on the POI. Nevertheless, somebody has to win this fight. I'm sure Byla, after seeing his former teammate Peterbot going crazy last game, will be hoping he can match that level as well.
Have to be careful though. Aaron and Nave slowly but surely sneaking up. They might not have gotten an invitation to the party, but they're still gonna crash it nonetheless. Peak Control almost going over. Great peek by Gutterleaf. Take the shields right down from Byla. It's gonna force him back, force him to try to stabilize the situation, use whatever heals he has to try to get back on up, but the sneak play is in. They're crouching, they're trying to minimize the audio cues that they're giving out. Byla and Gutter have to be careful because it doesn't matter in this situation because they both have the potential to go down.
Gonna try to use that Excalibur rifle when connect, and that's gonna be huge. It's gonna give him that incentive to push on, but he needs to be careful. I think he realizes there is a duo behind him. That's gonna be Naves and Aaron. We've not had the best of days, and so realizing with all of the things going on here at Breakwater Bay, maybe there's an opportunity for a third party. There certainly is. Got a lethal fort, and it looks like Byla's next. He has nothing to answer when it comes to Naves and Aaron. Strolling in, making it look nice and simple.
And for Naves and Aaron, who are kind of in that same situation, the lack of metal resources, they got all those refreshes, all the siphon mats. So they got to be looking good at this situation, especially you count in the search that they just got as Rokane and Joji. A little bit of a split drop here on this side of the map. They're just looting up so they get themselves a better position. But Edgy and Miro slowly sneaking in. They heard all the commotion going down, fight after fight finishing, and this is their chance to get their own surge. Only 10 points so far. This is, again, another team you wouldn't expect to be in this position.
You can see Edgy and Miro playing it very slowly. Looking to try to set up sort of a pinch, both of them attacking from different angles. They will have to be patient with the opportunity. And it looks like Miro felt the opportunity was there. Takes a shot onto Aaron. Maybe he could have waited out just a bit longer, because they have now had time to sort of get their shields back up to a decent point. Of course, still not aware of Edgy's positioning, so this is going to be huge for Edgy. Can he hit a big shot? Not too shabby. I'm sure he would have wanted more. Of course, not easy with that red eye from close range.
I like this though. Edgy slowly but surely trying to back off, doing what he can because he doesn't want to get pushed by them too. He's separated from Miro. All it takes is a split second of separation for them to try to pounce, try to attack, and take advantage of the numbers game. But Edgy, he's been in this situation before. He has one of the biggest brains here in the stage. He knows exactly what to do. He's backing off, but there's another team slowly but surely sneaking in.
Is there something I'm missing here about Breakpool Bay? Why is everyone so attracted to this POI?
I don't know. It's like a vacation home down here or something where everybody kind of relaxed. The zone did pull over here to see the replay. Over towards Shatter Slabs. Jylix and Owl. That's going to be a huge shot on the DJ who falls again, leaving Muzz by himself.
I can't lie, you got put through the wax there. I cannot lie. I was looking at some creative montage stuff right there.
They're trying to get things going early on. Throughout the 2 days, they finished very high. I know watching one of their games during replays, I was trying to research as much as they can. They got a massive amount of eliminations and a victory royale in one of the last ones, and that's the type of momentum you like to carry in, the confidence you like to build going into the third and final session as Pledge is trying to break through, take control of these pieces, trying to catch somebody off guard. Finally gets to the box. Piece control is going over, edits the piece, takes down the player, 4 more points to their total, and a bunch of confidence really begin to build up.
I love that from Pledge. Just as he peeks around that corner, placing the stair there, blocking off the angle, the extra precaution. It goes a long way, of course. And now, back to Breakwater Bay and all the amazing things happening at this POI. So many players here in the Storm now. But is there any real winner from this situation? Looks like Edgy is trying to leave. I don't think Trashy's going to let him get away with it too much. Aaron and Naves, of course, will feel like they can get in on this one as well. But teams now at least starting to make their way towards the safe zone. Still have a ways to go as it closes.
Trade-off right there. Aaron seeing it all go down in the distance, getting a knock on the Pump. Edgy got down early on. Pump still down. Trashy can still try to go ahead and break out, get the res, but that other team knows that they're there. And now they have the choice, though. They can go ahead and try to continue the third party, make their lives that much harder, or they got the surge. They already got their elimination, so they can go ahead and focus on that rotation of zone. And it does look like a possible reboot card was picked up. Miro's trying to get out. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, for sure. Trashy, I'm sure maybe think he can pick up his teammate and get things back on the road. Again, one of those really awkward. You do see situations like that where you have a bunch of different teams, a bunch of different parties, all sort of vying for the same thing, right? They want to deal damage because they know Storm Surge is going to be an issue later down the line, but it isn't that simple at times.
Nothing's really ever that simple here in Fortnite. And that's the thing, you can't get lost in the sauce, you can't tunnel vision. Kanata just takes a huge amount of damage from the side, but that's not too much to worry about. Ager's wasting no time, going hip to hip. They know exactly what to do in these scenarios, how to hold the walls when somebody is under pressure, as Booga and Peterbot, they're immediately trying to go over.
Yeah, and of course, one of the bigger parts of this season has been the augments. Miniminer, can you tell us, how are these players using augments to their benefit?
They're using them very effectively indeed. Now we have Golduck right here using the aerialist augment to speed up those mid-game rotations. We can see on the minimap on the bottom right, they're not actually in the safe zone, but this aerialist augment just allows them to go through the zones a lot quicker. So expect to see this team in a good position.
Thank you, Miniminers. Quick breakdown. Catching us up with some of the things we might have missed, might not have known. And I like that. I like the aerialist because if they're able to make it towards endgame, they can make daring acrobatic plays, taking high ground and immediately trying to give it up. They can bait players into unfavorable situations knowing they have an escape plan in their back pocket.
Peterbot back on our screens here. I'm a big fan of this duo, and I'll tell you why, Jacob. I feel like I've seen this before. And you might be thinking, what is this Levin guy waffling about? Please shut up, Levin. Like, what are you saying? This is the first season they're competing with each other. No, I'm not talking about NA. I'm talking about EU. Don't get mad at me. But this duo reminds me a lot of Tayson and Thomas HD way back in the day when they teamed up, where you have the person who on their region is considered a respective GOAT, Tayson, the parallel there being Booga. You have Peterbot, who the parallel being to Thomas HD, just the guy. You know when you have the guy, Peterbot is that guy, Thomas HD has always been that guy on EU. And I do think though, the difference with Booga and Peterbot is that they can probably do what Tayson and Thomas were never able to do last year, and that is win an FNCS championship. A very, very impressive team, and a formula that definitely could work, and it's been working so far today.
From one impressive team to two more, Clix and Donnie. Kanata and Aegis, box to box, wall to wall. Kanata trying to go for that piece control. He's going to get at least one, forcing Clix back into the same box as Donnie. The trick is right now is they're barely flirting with that Storm Surge threshold. 40 below, 27 above. Another team sneaking by, though. You have to be careful. If you don't watch out, Angers, you could be taken down. That's Claps. Sneaking by. And I like this right now, Kanata. Even though Aegis is on one side, Kanata's just honestly always getting that information. You always got to be doing something here in Fortnite.
Yeah, got to stay proactive. Can't sit idle and twiddle your thumbs together. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to start moving. Of course, have the Shockwave hammer to do so. And as always, Kanata hitting some shots, but taking some damage as well. The chug splashes will allow him to get back up if need be.
Probably waiting, saying, hey, before I use my splashes, he's probably letting Aegis take his shots. That way, if he gets tagged up, they're optimizing the actual splash usage. But you got to be careful. If you get pushed, you only have 100 HP at that moment in time, as Dubs and Accept trying to peek through, get themselves some elevation. They know there's so many teams on the outside of zone. Even though they're 200 above the damage threshold, there's always room for more surge.
Yeah, and there will be opportunities for them to get tags from where they're sitting at. Of course, Aegis and Kanata still in the zone, trying to make their way in and just barely making it sort of under this natural ridge in the map. And it's going to give them the space and time that they need to get their heals back up. But to be honest, for a team that's been so impressive today, they look depleted, and this refresh would go a long, long way. If they can pick up Claps, which is exactly what they'll do, it could be the key to keeping them in this game. It's definitely going to be worth to run into the Storm to get his loot. But there are eyes on it, so Kanata's going to have to use those builds, guarantee that he's not, you know, getting too greedy by any means.
Warrior and ABN, so much high ground. So it's very interesting to see that they're 59 below the damage threshold, trying to out-heal it, using a lot of their minis, trying to save the splashes to the last moment. Donnie's going to go down to Paul. Clix is out as well to Ducky. They probably got focused there just a little bit as Edgy and Miro. He got him back into the game. Second chance at life here. What can you do with that second opportunity?
Well, what they need to do with the second opportunity right now is head to zone. But they don't really have much by way of HP. The med missile get Edgy back up. He obviously saw how much they were struggling earlier. But to get back into this game, I'm assuming it's going to have to be some sort of a big box fight, right? They're going to have to get on the offensive, catch a team out, and just hope that they can hit the jackpot right.
Sounds easy.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, I was about to say, sounds easy, but you know as well as I do, everything is much harder in Fortnite. Like the mirror, everything is larger than it appears. As Joji and Rokane are the only team other than Kanata and Aegis to place top 10 in the first 2 games. And that goes to show it's not all about the victory royales. Consistency beats out more times than not, as Illis has the Peely's Plunder treasure map, but he's down 86 below the damage threshold. And this is where it goes to where he might not be able to pick and choose his battles here.
Yeah, the weird thing is that his teammate is actually behind these guys in terms of names and Aaron. His teammate's by the gas station. So even though he's alone, Flax is just sort of behind that. Oh dear.
That's first place.
Okay,
That's
Aegis
Aegis.
is down. Kanata now has to make a big play, but even if he is able to survive here, this game's flipped on its head. Playing as a solo from this point on is going to be a very difficult task, even for a player of Kanata's level. But Dubs and Accept, they've done the world of good in terms of trying to further their campaign in this tournament, taking out one of your top competitors.
And that was a miracle find because they didn't have that shockwave hammer moments ago. Now they're using it to get the zone. Kanata trying to be hot on their heels, getting tagged up from all over on the lobby. Dropped down to about 76 HP, trying to pause, find some stability where he picks what the next move is going to be because he's still outside of zone. He's still below the damage threshold. He's still following this duo. He's out for revenge here, but he's going to find that sweet spot right above him inside of zone and try to toy with it here. 118 below the damage threshold. He still knows in the back of his mind, I have to be proactive.
Out for revenge or looking for trouble, it's all about how you interpret it. The question is whether or not he will survive. He's used all of his metal now. Just has the one build left. And now when he's trading in these kind of situations, it doesn't look good. He's not going to be able to out-heal. They know that he's down bad, and so they'll just continue to spray up. It looks like it's going to be the end of the game for Canada here. That's the first place team, and so an opportunity for anybody in the lobby to catch up, and one of the teams who'll certainly be looking to do that is right here on our screens, Dubs and Accept. Saxon, Illis, they've gotten together. They've closed the distance, but no further in actually trying to beat out Aaron and Naves. They're the ones on the back foot, and Aaron and Naves knows it. Playing very patiently, but needs to stay together. Can't afford to get lost in the source.
Above the damage threshold, they know defensive is going to be the key here, especially since they know they already got the knock onto Illist. Slack by himself, under siege, a little bit of HP. They're trying to break through. Slack's doing what he can, backing down little by little. You got to imagine, below the threshold, Slack's probably getting barely above, tries to peek, gets punished. Aaron and Naves get not one, but two of those eliminations.
They needed that, right? They were
Bad.
obviously up above Surge, but didn't really have any metal. Naves just picked up about 400 there, right? From a big elim for them for the rest of this game. John and Suscript here, they have a chance to really start to take up a lead on that leaderboard and gain a bunch of points, and some of their top competitors are down.
But this right here is the moment. I like what you're saying. They have a chance, the potential to take to the top side of the leaderboard, but they're 88 below the damage threshold. The next moves they make could decide the future of them very, very soon. But they're continuing to stout, playing patient. They know all these players around, peeking for Surge, shooting the shots just like they are. They're waiting for somebody to slip up. And they're separated. That might be the move that they can make, as Rokane and Joji knows they're in a similar spot, 219 above. They can play exactly how they want because they know they're not forced to peek.
Yeah, this is going to be big. Joji, Rokane, they see something, and they actually are going to be able to profit off of it. And again, not getting too greedy. They really need to be cautious. There's a lot going on. They, just like us, will hear all these shots, all these fights taking place. Maxo just below that. I think he'll be caught out eventually. So much is going on. This is very chaotic right now, Jacob.
They're doing a good job, though. Suscript and John, throughout all the chaos, surviving. Still 83 below the damage threshold, which isn't much, to be honest. A couple of well-placed shots with that red-eye assault rifle would definitely put them above. There goes 28. They're still below, taking damage. They have to figure out what they're going to do to get the next 54. Peeking through the same hole. Storm Surge still taking them up, trying to out-heal. No more splashes on the Sudscript. Somebody pushing into the box. That could be the recipe that they needed, because even though they got a crest on, they landed the perfect shot to put them above the threshold.
I like that from Sudscript. Hitting a big shot just when they needed it. And needs to keep on doing that. The angle isn't too favorable for him, and so we'll take a chunk of his HP. But this is exactly what they want. An opportunity to keep them in this game, but the pressure from Vert and Walkers is relentless. It's causing them issues. And they also have to start planning their rotation, right? They aren't in the zone, they will have to get there. For teams who are maybe looking a bit better for that, Mirror and Edgy, they have the hammer, and so they know they can get to zone anytime they want, and the time is now. Gonna land towards Bugha and Peter, but maybe even look to get in on them. Looking for that all-in play. I don't know if that's the duo you want to do it to, though.
That's not one I would want to take on, as Bugha is able to take down Edgy, making them instantly regret that decision. And it was Bugha of all people, not even letting Peterbot get in that one, as they do have 2 eliminations, 374 above the damage threshold. For them, it's business as usual.
Yeah, look, you're going to see all around the lobby players jumping into boxes, because they are very, very desperate. But there are certain boxes you just don't want to walk into. Players falling left, right, and center of that. And Walkers who've done a good job of being the aggressors, the instigators so far this game. Now maybe running into some trouble themselves. They've got the eye of some of the lobby. Miro, who obviously just lost Edgy a second ago now, is going to have to try and plan out the rest of this game with, what, just 12 builds? As great of a player as he is, he's going to need a lot more than that.
I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't a little bit worried about Nero, but at the same time, I'm waiting because at a moment's notice, he is the type of player that can pop off. You see the zone, a stacked south side, but that is also the front side of zone. So anybody that's stacked towards the backside, they probably have to wait for everybody else to begin to rotate and then shockwave their way there.
And for Rokane and Joji, Rokane just scouting out, figuring out where exactly is safe for them to be able to use their hammer. They don't want to run into too much. You can see Vert and Walkers though, they have the prime positioning to hold on for height here as they build on towards this hill. And for the teams in this lobby, if you want to have a good game, you want to be one of the first ones to get up on this hill. And so for Coop and Hide and Seek, they need to start planning their way and getting up. Dubs and Xcept are doing a brilliant job though. This is where you want to be. You don't want to be the teams stuck down below, late to rotate upwards. Because if you are, the likes of Vert and Walkers up on height will be ready to pounce, ready to take you out.
And honestly, this is where Forecast, and this is why Vivid said is probably one of the best augments in the game right now, because not only does it go up and over the mountain, it goes right back down below. So if you're trying to pick and choose your spot, you got to be careful, just like Dubs and Xcept under siege, under pressure. The bounce outside of zone, but a shockwave hammer into the hands of Dubs, send him right back in. Jamper's down. It's all up to Paper. 10 HP. He gets sent back to the lobby as Joji's trying to do the same. Rokane went down. It's all up to him as a solo.
Yeah, it's not looking too great. But you never know what Joji can do. He can always make something happen. He has his eyes set on people. He sees people moving, and that might be his cue to start moving his way on as well. The hammer will allow him to do so. Needs to make sure he stays out of the line of sight of and Walker taking a shot along the way. But they're the holders of height, getting chopped out though, as you do so often this season. Just need to hold on though.
Yeah. They have the builds. They're getting challenged by Peterbot himself, Bugha as well. They're doing just enough. Shockwave hammering to the front side of zone, and guess what? Height is still theirs. Rain and Bughas.
Bugha and Peterbot, they weren't just happy with that first place in the previous game. They won another one. And so they'll look to try and play from height. We'll keep following that. Joji, though, we saw his journey as a solo, and it will sadly come to an end. Noxy and Okis waiting in the front side of the zone, looking back at all of these players, and are very, very comfortable. They now have to make a move, though. And as they look to make their move, they see to find themselves in the same position that they were capitalizing on others. Stuck in the zone, stuck in the dirt, stuck in the ice. Sent back to the lobby. Dubs and Xcept will pick up another. They see all that loot there, and they see another player. They're going to keep taking shots.
Brave move by Scare, but he had no other option trying to heal. Bugha still holding on to that high ground. Peterbot going to the backside of the zone, trying to cover and making sure that they're set, but they're only just on one layer, and that's why Peterbot's going to go forward, build ahead, get that height, and try to secure it for him and Bugha. 6 teams left. This is definitely theirs for the taking.
And this zone has been so awkward for all of these players that are down below. Having to slip and slide across the ice, and sliding into the wrong box is going to cost you, and that's exactly the fate that Vert faced. Walking right into Dubs. He's got 6 already this game. He is on 1.
You said it yourself, Peterbot and Bugha looking to go back to back, and he's not only going to take part in it, he's going to try to take it by force, dropping down just enough to try to get the extra resource. You see him building up to protect Bugha, but Shockwave Hammer right back on down. The challenge against Dubs. Peterbot is going to go ahead and try to solidify himself. The patience, this man can attack anything, but he knows when and where to do it.
We just saw him in this position a bit earlier, but this time he has Bugha with him, so there's going to be even more confidence. Coop and Hide and Seek. We saw them making brilliant plays earlier, cerebral in their attempts, and doing the same here, down low on Max. And so in this final sort of zone, they do have to hit big shots if they want to do it. Peterbot is ready and waiting though, and so making sure to build up. Don't want to lose height, don't want to get too excited, because there are still some top teams in this. Dubs and Xcept. Coop now playing as a solo, and now all about hitting these crucial shots. Xcept will fall, Dubs will fall as well, it seems, as Bugha and Peterbot are making him pay. Will they connect to the final shot? Having to drop down though for a second and use them chug splashes to heal, but you've got to think it's a matter of moments.
Game 2, they had 8 eliminations in the Victory Royale. Game 3, they have 8 eliminations, picking up more to 9 and going back to back. These guys are looking to just lay down and take over the game and have it be their throne. They are the kings right now of NA West, and they're daring anybody to challenge them.
We do not sing their praises for nothing. This is a serious team, and this is not just, you know, a top performance from them. This is a serious warning to the rest of NA East. You cannot mess with these guys. They will make anybody and everybody pay. What a game. To start the game off a bit slow and then roll through and just stop the whole lobby. What a duo. I am so impressed.
This is looking like their day one of the qualifiers, even to make it to this point. Almost 100 eliminations in that session one alone. It made it to where they didn't have to go all out. They didn't have to spend too much energy yesterday. They're saving it all for today. And what a plan that is. These guys cannot be stopped right now.
I just love how Peterbot makes some of the most intense high action moments look like just a creative warm-up, making it look easy. I don't compare these guys to some of the best players of all time in other regions for no reason. They are really them guys, and they're showing it here today.
Yeah, and I think that comparison was almost perfect. I know tomorrow, EU, they're going to probably be looking at us saying, hey, what about that comparison now? But for Bugha and Peterbot, there's nothing to compare them to. But let's see what other great things have happened during that last game. Zeke, Vivid, Taco, break it all down.
Thank y'all so much, as always. Halfway through here in NA East, my goodness. And these guys are talking about comparing. I'm going to be really bold here, okay? I feel like this duo is a lot like Vino and Queasy. Now, I know what you're saying. Whoa, Zeke, whoa! Listen, let me contextualize. This duo specifically, Bugha and Peterbot, it feels like Bugha is like the eye in the sky. He's just waiting. And he's like, okay, Peterbot right there. And then Peterbot's like, oh, sick, let me jump down. All right, sick, I'm coming back. You know, like, it's that kind of dynamic that these guys remind me a lot of. So it's cool to see that. I mean, after game 3, points speak for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, I'm looking all the way at the top of the leaderboard, and Peterbot and Bugha are finding themselves up there. But there was just so much about this game that I actually liked, and myself learned. First of all, Peterbot and Bugha shown us that the Shockwave Hammer, we talked about it in games number 1 and 2, it was really, really hard for teams to hold height because of the Shockwave Hammers. Bugha and Peterbot just kept hopping from high ground to high ground, making sure that they stayed at the front of the zone, so that way nobody at the back of the zone could knock them out. But then it was also